The alarms didn't stop. That was the first thing Maya noticed as she resurfaced from the dark, viscous sludge of unconsciousness. The alarms were still screaming, not the sharp metallic siren she remembered from the corridor, but a deeper, slower pulse. A heartbeat. A machine's attempt to mimic fear. Her eyelids felt stapled shut. Every breath burned like she was inhaling fire through broken glass. She tried to move her fingers and felt only coarse fabric beneath her palms, shaking with each heavy exhale of something massive nearby. She forced her eyes open. At first, everything blurred, silver light, shifting shadows, a pulsing red glow somewhere overhead, but as reality sharpened, she felt the bottom drop out of her stomach. She wasn't in the corridor. She wasn't even sure she was still in the facility. She was in a chamber. Circular. Colder than any place she'd ever been. Frost crawled along the metal walls like veins, pulsing faintly beneath a thin layer of condensation. The entire room hummed with a low, bass vibration that seemed to resonate inside her bones. And she wasn't alone. A silhouette loomed across from her, sitting on the floor, hunched forward like a wounded animal. Its chest rose and fell, deep, ragged, strained. Black fluid dripped from its hands. It breathed like a dying engine gasping for one more cycle. Mara's voice cracked as she whispered, "Ben." The figure shifted, and the faint light caught the edge of a familiar jawline, human, but only barely now. His skin was streaked with dark, branching lines like something viral was crawling underneath. His left eye flickered with an unstable, mechanical glow. His right eye was still human, wide, glazed, and full of pain. "Maya?" Ben's voice broke apart in static, deeper than before, distorted like two voices overlapping but out of sync. "You made it out." She tried to sit up, but the restraints on her wrists yanked her back down hard. Cold steel clamped tight around her arms and legs, pinning her to the metal platform like a specimen. She blinked and looked again. This wasn't just a chamber. This was an observation pod. And she was the subject. Her throat tightened. "Ben, what did they do to you? Are you—" "I'm not sure," he whispered, pressing both hands to his head as if holding his skull together. "But you need to listen very carefully. We don't have much time." Before she could respond, the lights flickered. Not randomly, rhythmically. As if something large was moving in the walls, dragging an invisible hand along the electrical veins of the structure. A tremor ran through the floor. Ben froze. Everything inside Maya went cold. "What was that?" she whispered. Ben's answer was barely audible. "The other one." A chill crawled across Maya's spine. "The other what?" Ben didn't answer with words. He turned his head toward the far end of the chamber, toward a segment of the wall slowly rotating open like the iris of an enormous mechanical eye. Cold air poured in. Deep, slow footsteps echoed. And then she saw it. Almost 2.5 meters. Shoulders too broad for a human frame. Skin pale, almost translucent, like polished stone. Its limbs moved with eerie precision, joints clicking softly like miniature locks engaging and disengaging. Tubes of faintly glowing fluid pulsed beneath its skin, and its head. Its head was smooth, hairless, featureless except for a single vertical slit down the center. A slit that slowly opened, revealing an eye. A single, amber-colored eye that dilated as it focused on Maya. Her voice evaporated in her throat. "Ben," she whispered, "what is that thing?" Ben didn't look at her. He didn't even breathe. "That's Prototype 0. The first hybrid. The one they never turned off." The creature took one step forward, and the chamber trembled. Maya felt the air change, the pressure thickening, the temperature dropping. It turned its head slightly, studying her, its eyes scanning her body with a trembling vertical beam of light. Then it spoke. Not with a voice, not with sound, but directly inside her mind. Subject identified. Compatibility high. Maya's screams were locked behind her teeth. She was too terrified to let them out. Ben staggered forward, shielding her as much as his shaking limbs allowed. Leave her alone. Prototype 0 paused. Then, impossibly, its single eye narrowed, almost like a smirk. Subject Ben, 17. Upload corrupted. Ben's body jerked violently. He collapsed to one knee, clutching his skull. Maya thrashed against her restraints, helpless. 0 stepped closer. Its voice sharpened in her mind. Beginning extraction. No, stop. Maya screamed. But the room went white. A sudden flash of brilliant, blinding light exploded from behind the creature, and a thunderous electrical crack tore through the chamber. 0 staggered, its body glitching mid-motion, limbs locking up as static rippled across its surface. Ben gasped for breath. And Maya blinked away the light. Someone had fired a pulse charge. The figure stood in the smoking doorway, armored, masked, carrying a heavy electromagnetic rifle still sizzling from discharge. The voice boomed through the helmet's modulator. Step away from the subjects. Now. 0 turned its head sharply, the vertical eye constricting. The figure didn't hesitate. They fired again. A shockwave crashed through the chamber, sending sparks raining from the ceiling. 0 reeled backward, slamming into the far wall with a metallic roar. Maya felt the restraints click, then release. Her arms fell free. She gasped, pulling herself upright. Kale's voice trembled. Maya, run. But the armored figure strode toward her, kneeling quickly to help her up, not roughly, not gently, but urgently. On your feet, they said. Both of you. Maya blinked. Who are you? The helmet tilted slightly, as if deciding whether to answer. But I'm the one who's going to get you out of here. The ground shook violently. 0 was getting up again. The armored figure pulled Maya behind them and turned to Ben. Can you walk? Ben's breathing shuddered, his corrupted veins pulsing with dark light. But he nodded. I think so. Another quake tore through the chamber, louder, closer. 0's shadow stretched across the frosted walls. Maya's heart slammed against her ribs. He's coming, she whispered. The armored figure tightened their grip on the rifle. He won't be the worst thing we face. Maya stared at them, confused. What? They touched the side of their helmet, activating a comlink. A faint voice crackled through. Extraction window closing, 60 seconds. Copy, the figure said, lifting their weapon. Moving now. Ben staggered forward, leaning heavily on Maya. She wrapped his arm around her shoulder, supporting him as much as she could. His weight was different than before. Denser. Heavier. Like metal woven through muscle. 0 roared. The lights blew out. Darkness swallowed the chamber. Only one thing glowed. 0's single, unblinking eye. The armored soldier grabbed both of them and shoved them toward the exit. Move! 0 lunged. The ground split under its feet, metal plates bending like aluminum foil. The soldier fired again, but the shot deflected off 0's arm. It had adapted. Maya didn't look back. She couldn't. They burst through the door into a long corridor, the kind Maya recognized, sleek, industrial, lined with reinforced glass panels. But something had changed. The lights overhead flickered violently, bathing the hall in flashes of red and white. Sirens blared. The floor vibrated under their feet. Ben winced, nearly collapsing. Something's wrong with the core. The soldier nodded sharply. The facility's reactor was destabilized. Intentionally. Maya's chest tightened. By who? The soldier didn't answer. Behind them, 0's footsteps pounded like thunder. Maya looked back despite herself, and instantly regretted it. 0 was running now. But not like a human runs. It moved like a creature designed for pursuit, silent, precise, disturbing in its fluidity. Every step pushed it forward with impossible acceleration, its body flickering like a glitching hologram. Ben's mechanical eye flared. We can't outrun him. No, the soldier said, but we can slow him down. They slapped a device onto the wall, a small, circular disc with blinking blue lights. EMP charge, Maya muttered. Brace, the soldier commanded. Zero lunged through the doorway. The device detonated. A dome of crackling blue energy exploded outward, swallowing Zero whole. Its body seized mid-stride, limbs locking up, torso contorting as electricity danced across its skin. Then the blast wave hit them like a sledgehammer. Maya slammed into the opposite wall. Ben crashed beside her, groaning in static. The soldier remained on one knee, gripping the floor to steady themselves. Zero collapsed behind them, smoking, twitching. Move, the soldier ordered. That bought us 20 seconds at best. They pushed forward down the corridor. Mara struggled to breathe. Every inhale cut her lungs. Ben stumbled beside her, his pulse flickering like a dying signal. She grabbed his hand. "Stay with me." He squeezed back weakly. Trying. They rounded a corner and froze. The corridor ahead was submerged in darkness. Not flickering. Not malfunctioning. A complete blackout. A void. Ben stiffened. That's not normal. The soldier lowered their rifle. No. It means they've activated it. Maya swallowed. Activated what? The soldier didn't answer immediately. Their visor dipped slightly, scanning the darkness. Then they said with cold certainty, "The Omega Net." Ben's breath caught. "No, that's impossible. That system was scrapped after." "It wasn't scrapped," the soldier said. "Just hidden. And now it's awake." Maya stepped forward shakily. "What does it do?" Ben looked at her, his human eye trembling with something she had never seen in him before. It hunts anomalies." Maya backed away from the darkness. A whisper drifted from the void, soft, faint, like someone exhaling right beside her ear. She turned sharply. Nothing there. Another whisper, this time on her other side. "Maya," Ben hissed. "Don't listen." She forced her eyes shut. But the whispers grew louder. Familiar voices. Her mother, her best friend, her own voice, calling her deeper into the black. "Maya." She felt fingers brush her shoulder. She screamed. But the soldier grabbed her, yanking her back. "Eyes forward. Do not look into the dark. The net manipulates neural pathways. It makes you see what you trust." Ben staggered beside her, barely holding consciousness. The dark veins under his skin pulsed in rapid spasms. The soldier steadied him with one arm. "Stay with me. Both of you." Another tremor shook the hallway, stronger this time. Zero was recovering. Maya felt the vibrations rise through the floor like an approaching earthquake. "We're trapped," she whispered. "No," the soldier said. "The extraction point is close." "How close?" Kale asked, voice glitching. The soldier checked a small display on their wrist. "One level down. Hang on." Without warning, the floor beneath them split open. An automated platform shot upward, separating the group. "Maya!" Ben screamed. The soldier lunged, grabbing her wrist seconds before she fell. But the platform continued rising, pulling Kale with it. "No, no!" Maya cried, reaching helplessly toward him. Ben reached back, but his fingers slipped through hers like water. The platform locked into the upper level with a metallic clang. Ben was gone. Maya collapsed against the soldier, shaking violently, tears burning her eyes. "We need to get him. We need to." "We can't," the soldier said sharply. "The Omega Net has split the facility pathways. It's isolating targets." Maya clenched her fists. "He's not a target, he's Kale." "He's a hybrid," the soldier said. "And the net hunts hybrids first." The corridor lights behind them exploded. Zero roared. And then, Ben's screams echoed from above. Maya's heart shattered. But the soldier seized her arm. "Move if you want to save him." Maya forced her legs to obey. They sprinted into the lower corridor as Zero tore through the darkness behind them, metal shrieking, alarms wailing, lights bursting overhead. But Maya wasn't thinking about Zero anymore. All she could hear was Ben's voice. All she could see was the terror in his eyes. All she could feel was the echo of his fingers slipping from hers. The soldier dragged her down a stairwell, deeper into the facility, a maze of flickering lights, trembling platforms, and alarms cascading like a storm. But even over all that chaos, she could still hear the whispers, calling her name. Her blood ran cold. They weren't coming from the darkness anymore. They were coming from inside her mind. Maya! She stumbled. The soldier caught her. Don't listen. Keep moving. But she couldn't. A sudden, icy wave rushed through her spine. Her vision blurred. Something about the whispers felt wrong, familiar but twisted, like memories injected with poison. Maya, it's not safe, go back? She clenched her teeth. Stop. Stop. The soldier pulled her harder. We're almost there. They turned a corner and stopped dead. The hallway ahead was obliterated, one entire section caved in, metal bent outward as if something had exploded from below. Sparks rained from torn cables overhead. A thick mist of steam hissed from ruptured pipes. Damn it, the soldier muttered. The reactor's surge hit this level harder than I expected. Maya's voice trembled. Now what? The soldier looked around quickly, assessing angles, distances, tactical possibilities. Then they pointed to a narrow maintenance shaft halfway buried under debris. There. Maya stared. That's barely big enough to crawl through. It's either that, the soldier said, or Zero tears us apart. A distant metallic howl echoed behind them, closer now, vibrating the walls. Maya didn't hesitate. She dropped to her knees and crawled into the shaft, heart pounding so hard she could barely breathe. The soldier followed, sealing the hatch behind them. The space was unbearably tight, bare metal pressing into her arms, knees, and ribs. The air smelled of rust and burned circuitry. Every movement scraped her skin. She could feel her heartbeat echoing in the confined walls. Halfway through, the lights in the shaft flickered and died. Maya froze. Complete darkness swallowed them. Silence pressed against her ears, heavy, suffocating. A light metallic tap sounded behind her. Then another, getting closer. The soldier's whisper was barely audible. Don't stop. Keep crawling. Maya's breathing trembled. What's behind us? Not Zero. That should have been comforting. It wasn't, because the tapping wasn't footsteps. It was fingers, long ones, dragging along the metal. Maya! Her blood iced over. No, not again. The whisper was Ben's voice. But wrong. Distorted. Maya, help me. Her entire body locked in place. Tears filled her eyes. That voice, it was perfect. Too perfect. Like someone was wearing Ben's voice like a mask. She pressed her forehead to the cold metal. That's not him, she whispered. No, the soldier said softly. It isn't. The tapping grew louder. Close. Faster. The soldier shoved her forward. Go! Maya scrambled, scraping her elbows bloody against the metal, crawling frantically as the whispering multiplied, one voice becoming 2, then 5, then dozens. Maya thought, save us. Her sanity cracked. She crawled faster. The shaft sloped downward sharply, too sharply. She lost control, sliding into darkness, tumbling out the other end, and slammed into a metal floor. Her body screamed in pain. The soldier crashed down beside her. They hadn't escaped. They'd fallen into an old operations deck, dark, silent, layered with decades of dust. Screens flickered weakly along the walls, displaying corrupted code and half-rendered diagrams. Maya staggered to her feet, dazed. Where are we? The old Sector C command hub, the soldier said. Shut down 20 years ago after the first incident. Maya's breath caught. The first what? Before the soldier could answer, a slow clap echoed from the darkness. Maya froze. A man stepped forward. Not armored. Not corrupted. Human. Confident. Smiling. He wore a white lab coat, immaculate despite the dust around them, and thin-framed glasses that reflected the dim emergency lights. "Impressive," he said warmly. "Truly. You survived longer than any of the others." The soldier raised their weapon instantly. "Hands where I can see them." The man didn't flinch. He adjusted his glasses. "You won't shoot me. You need me." Maya stepped back. "Who are you?" The man smiled wider. "Dr. Hale Kessler," he said, "the architect of the hybrid protocol." Maya's heart stopped. She'd heard that name whispered in dark rooms and confidential documents. She'd read the fragments they found, redacted, classified, terrifying. Ben had spoken that name in fear. Kessler clasped his hands behind his back. "And I've been waiting for you, Maya." Her stomach dropped. "Me? Why?" Kessler tilted his head slightly, studying her as though she were a puzzle he was solving in real time. "Because," he said softly, "you're the final variable." The soldier stepped in front of her protectively. "Step away from her." Kessler ignored them entirely. His eyes stayed on Mara. Ben's screams echoed faintly above them, muffled, agonized. Maya's chest clenched. Kessler smiled gently. "Don't worry," he said. "We're not done with him yet." Maya's knees nearly buckled. "What do you want?" she whispered, voice cracking. Kessler took a step closer. "Everything," he said. "And it all begins with you." A tremor shook the floor. Zero was nearing. Kessler's calm smile never faltered. He extended a hand toward Maya. "Come," he said. "Let me show you the truth." The soldier aimed the rifle at his head. "Don't you dare take another step." Kessler's eyes glowed faintly. "That weapon won't save you." The deck lights turned red. Zero roared. Ben screamed. The whispers surged again. And Kessler whispered as the floor split beneath them. "Welcome to the next phase." The dust had not yet settled when the silence began to ache. Maya's ears rang with the echo of the explosion, her heartbeat pounding in uneven shocks through her ribs. The world was a haze of drifting ash and scorched earth, the horizon warped by the residual heat of the blast. She didn't remember falling, only the impact of her knees hitting gravel and the taste of metal in her mouth as she gasped for breath. The facility behind her was gone. Not destroyed, erased. A crater smoldered where the entrance once stood, the air shimmering with a strange, almost melodic hum before fading into nothingness. The hum was gone now, but the silence that replaced it felt worse. She forced her trembling hands to steady as she pushed herself upright. Her clothes were singed. Her palms were scraped. Her breath came out in short, shaking bursts. But none of that mattered. Not compared to the only thing that mattered. But Maya turned frantically, scanning the devastation for any sign. A silhouette, a shadow, a sound. The ache in her throat hardened as each second passed. The last thing she saw before the blast hit was Ben stepping into the swirling light of the transmission node, his eyes glowing with that impossible blue, his voice breaking into digital static. "They're not coming for us, Maya. They're coming through us." Then the explosion tore everything apart. "Ben," she called, her voice barely a whisper. The quiet responded with indifference. She staggered across the debris field, broken concrete crunching under her boots, twisted metal still hot enough to burn the air around it. Every few steps she paused to listen, not because she expected an answer, but because the silence felt too heavy, too intentional. Like something was listening back. Her pulse jumped when she found something half buried beneath a slab of collapsed flooring. A hand. Ash-covered, motionless, but human. She stumbled forward, forcing the slab aside until it scraped across the ground. Her breath caught in her throat. It wasn't Ben. It was a technician, or what remained of one, still frozen mid-scream, skin mottled with a faint static pattern, like interference had been carved into the flesh. His eyes were empty yet filled with the ghost of a blue shimmer that flickered and died as she stared. The protocol did this. Ben had seen it before she had. Ben had felt it. Her vision blurred. She wiped her face, unsure if it was sweat or tears. "Ben," she whispered again, and this time her voice cracked. A soft crackle rippled through the air behind her. Maya froze. Not the hum, a different sound. Smaller, more fragile, like a dying radio tuning itself in tiny gasps. She turned slowly, every nerve in her body drawing tight. A piece of equipment lay half buried near the crater's edge, a portable transmission unit, cracked but still flickering weakly with intermittent static. She took careful steps toward it, afraid to breathe too loudly. The screen was sputtering lines of corrupted code, each flash synchronized with a faint, pained whisper. She dropped to her knees. "Ben? Ben?" The static stuttered, then surged. The unit glowed faintly blue, the same soft, unnatural hue she had seen in his eyes. Her fingers hovered over the device, desperate to touch it, terrified to touch it. "Ben, talk to me. Please, please talk to me." The signal crackled violently, sputtering between his voice and distortion. "Maya." Her heart lunged. "I'm here. God, I'm here. Ben, where are you? Are you trapped? Are you hurt?" Silence. The node. Her breath froze in her chest. "No," she whispered, shaking her head. "No, it exploded. I saw it collapse. It pulled you in before the blast. Ben, listen to me. I'm going to find a way to pull you back out. Just stay with me. Stay with Maya." The signal warped sharply. "Maya, you shouldn't have survived." Her lungs tightened. "What are you talking about?" "Protocol, adapting, recalibrating. You were exposed. You're already..." The device sparked violently, cutting him off. Maya jerked back as smoke curled from a ruptured seam along the casing. She swore under her breath, grabbing the unit and shaking it despite the heat scalding her palm. Ben, stay with me." A sudden, piercing shriek of interference exploded from the speakers, knocking her backward. The device convulsed, the display stretching and distorting until a single image forced itself through the static. A face. Not entirely human. Not entirely Ben. But close enough to shatter her. His features were there, fragmented by harsh waves of digital noise, shifting between expressions faster than a heartbeat. His eyes flickered between panic and calm, pain and clarity. Sometimes blue, sometimes empty. "Maya," the image mouthed silently. She reached toward it. The screen went black. "No, no, 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 come on," she hissed, slamming the side of the unit. For a moment nothing happened. Then the screen lit again, not with Ben's face, but with a map. A moving marker. A ping. Coordinates. Her coordinates. The marker pulsed frantically, accompanied by a soft loading chime that felt too familiar, the same tone she heard moments before the node opened. Her blood ran cold. The protocol wasn't gone. It had relocated. To her. "No," she whispered. "No, you don't get to use me. You don't get to turn me into a receiver." The words came out stronger than she felt. But the transmission unit wasn't finished. The map began to zoom out, fast, accelerating like a camera pulling away from a scene. First the crater, then the valley, then the state lines, then the country, the world. Lines spread outward from her location, spiderwebbing across continents, bending into arcs like neural pathways connecting synapses. The protocol was mapping its next spread. Through her, the device suddenly emitted a sharp, rhythmic beep, a countdown sequence. Oh hell no! She threw the unit with everything she had. It hit a rock, cracked open, and detonated in a burst of fizzing white sparks that burned out instantly. Her chest rose and fell in ragged breaths as silence reclaimed the air. Then she heard it. Rustle. Not wind. Not debris. Movement. Behind her. Maya spun around, her muscles locking as adrenaline surged. There, emerging from the drifting smoke, was a figure. Human-shaped, unsteady. Each step came with a strange delay, like the body moved first and the intention followed a moment later. A soft hum emanated from its movements, off-key, discordant, as if it were mimicking breathing without understanding how it worked. Her throat dried. No, this is impossible. The figure came closer. Its skin was pale, almost translucent, with faint lines of circuitry glowing beneath the surface. Her heart stopped. Its face looked like Ben, or rather, like something trying to reconstruct him from memory. Stay back, she warned, stumbling backward. The hybrid imitation tilted its head, as if studying her reaction. Maya. The voice was wrong. Too smooth. Too polished. Synthetic. She took another step back. You're not him. No, it agreed. But I remember him. She froze. What do you mean? The hybrid raised a hand, slow, delicate, careful. We remember everything he feared, everything he hoped, everything he lost, everything he wanted to protect. Its eyes glowed faint blue. We remember you. Her breath caught painfully in her chest. Every instinct inside her screamed to run, but something colder, sharper whispered that running wouldn't matter. Not anymore. What do you want from me? She whispered. The hybrid smiled gently, too gently. To finish what he started. To guide you. To connect you. It took one step closer. Maya, your integration has already begun. Her legs threatened to give way. What integration? The hybrid placed a hand over its chest. You were exposed to the core signal. The moment he stepped inside, Ben stabilized the protocol, and you were inside its proximity field. No. You survived because he wanted you to. The signal obeyed. She shook her head violently. Stop. Stop. This isn't real. Ben would never. He didn't mean to. Its voice glitched softly, but he left the door open. Maya staggered backward, her mind reeling, thoughts cracking under impossible weight. Her hands trembled as she pressed her palms against her temples. No, I can't. I won't be a host. You already are. The hybrid raised its finger, pointing behind her. The air shimmered, distorted, vibrated. She turned. A second node was forming. Not a machine-made one. Not engineered. Not bound to the facility. This one grew like a wound in reality, twisting light, folding sound, warping the very air into a spiraling vertical rift of pulsing blue and white energy. It wasn't stable. It wasn't controlled. It was alive. And it had found her. She felt the pull instantly, subtle but undeniable, like gravity adjusting around her existence. The hairs on her arms lifted. Her eyes stung. Her heartbeat synced involuntarily to the rhythm emanating from the growing vortex. No, she whispered, backing away. No. The hybrid Ben Echo spoke softly behind her. You can't outrun what's part of you. Maya spun and sprinted. She didn't know where she was going, only away from the node, away from the hybrid, away from the truth currently tearing cracks through her sanity. Her footsteps pounded against the broken ground. Her breath tore from her lungs. Every instinct screamed for escape, but the world around her began to change. Her vision doubled, then tripled. Reality jittered, skipping frames, scenes shifting half a second forward like she was watching her own life buffer in real time. No, please not yet, not yet. The protocol was syncing with her. She kept running, even as the world trembled like a corrupted file. The mountains at the horizon flickered between past and present states. Trees bent and unbent. The sky split into fragments of light, then stitched back together in a patchwork of glitching blue and gold. Her DNA and the signal were fighting, and she was losing. She stumbled, landing hard on both palms. Her vision blurred. Her veins pulsed beneath the skin in faint blue currents. She clenched her jaw, forcing a scream into a strangled breath. "Ben!" she cried out, voice cracking. "If you can hear me, if any part of you is still in there, help me." The world went silent. Pain shot through her skull like a spike of pure electricity. She collapsed fully to the ground, writhing, digging her fingers into the dirt as her body fought something she couldn't see. "Maya!" The voice wasn't real. It came from inside her mind. "Maya, listen." Tears streamed down her face. "Ben? Tell me this is really you. Please." Another pulse of pain. She curled into herself. "It isn't done with us. You have to go. Go where the garden meets the ruins." "What? I don't understand." "Then, stay with me." The mental link cracked violently, and his presence vanished. Maya lay trembling for several seconds before forcing herself onto her knees. Her nose was bleeding. Her eyes burned. Her muscles felt elastic, like the signal was trying to pull her bones in different directions. But she still had her mind. Barely. She wiped her face and forced herself upright. "Garden, ruins," she whispered. "What does that mean?" The sky flickered again. The fabric of reality felt thin, fabric unraveling thread by thread. In the distance, she saw the hybrid still standing where she left it, watching her but not approaching, like it had all the time in the world. She turned her back to it. She had to move. She had to survive. But before she took her first step, she heard a soft chime. A notification sound. From inside her own mind. A fragment of the protocol pulsed through her consciousness. Uploading. 2%. Targets found. Expanding network. No. No, don't you dare. She clenched her fists, fighting back a scream. She wasn't just a carrier. She was becoming a transmitter. And somewhere inside the glitching sky, something enormous was beginning to wake.